Rev TV brings the world of motorsports into your home with over 100 live race series such as MotoGP, IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship, Extreme E, World Superbike, and the newly launched all-electric E1 series. From 2 wheels to 4, from land to sea, your destination is Rev TV.
Bump Day qualifying is just around the corner with the Classic IndyCar Series set to qualify the final 9 drivers in. But before we get to that, it's a prelude to Sunday afternoon as on Saturday night, the SRA Superspeedway Blitz invades Indiana to go race on hallowed ground at the Brickyard. Welcome to the SRA Superspeedway Blitz on Green Flag TV. My name is Lowell Wemple alongside Lucas Moody. We're bringing you all of racing action from start to finish here from this 80-lap, 200-mile dash this afternoon. Lucas, it's going to be a long race this afternoon. 34 trucks have put down qualifying times and are ready to do battle here this afternoon in Indiana.
Oh yeah, here we are at the Brickyard, my hometown track in the southeast or southwest corner of Indianapolis. It is one of my favorite places to be on the planet. I love it so much. Can't wait to get some racing here today. And on your screen, you can now take a look at the future race weeks we have planned for this SRA Speedway Blitz.
It is, of course, closing out the first third of the season here today at Indianapolis. That's followed up by the Echo Park Speedway coming up on November 22nd. And then in December, Michigan Pocono Auto Club will be the final races of 2025. And then we'll return in January for Talladega and close things out at the Nashville Superspeedway to end out the Superspeedway Blitz here this afternoon. So all of this with a long schedule still just up the road in front of us. And we swing to Indianapolis, right? A crown jewel racetrack and well-revered in the motorsports world. Home to the Indianapolis 500, a track with over a century of history. Previously paved with bricks, a yard of those original bricks still found, marking that good old start-finish line.
Yeah, not only the Indianapolis 500, but also that Brickyard 400 that those next-gen cars run around here for the NASCAR Cup Series. And taking a look at your weather conditions for the day, 71 degrees Fahrenheit track. I talk about this a lot here on this channel. That is a cool track, which gives these drivers a lot of grip out there.
Indianapolis always regarded as the Motor City. Of course, you got Lucas Oil, Indianapolis Raceway Park just down the road. Anderson Speedway, home of the Little 500, is still very much within bounds of this racetrack as well, with, in fact, IRP being just only, and when I say just only, I quite literally mean just only a 5-minute drive down the road. Obviously, you have the Mass Infield Road Course, and more recently, you look down at the turn number 3, a brand new dirt track constructed in the last few years that now sits nestled right in the middle of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. That, of course, hosts Indiana Sprint Week for series such as the USAC National Sprint Car Series and the USAC National Midget Series, along with more. This truly is a motorsports paradise here in Indiana, and taking a trip to all those famous racetracks all throughout the course of the month of May. Obviously a huge feat for any racing fan, but never a time to miss. And it always feels special when we go racing here.
Yeah, at 530 acres, this track can fit the Vatican City. It can fit Churchill Downs. It can fit multiple Rose Bowl stadiums. Any stadium you can imagine can fit inside of this track with plenty of room to spare. And there are even 2 entire golf holes in this track, as you can see the sand pit just in the distance down that back straight. And this place is absolutely amazing. There's so much history to it. And you talk about IRP, you can't forget, Nolan, that not only is there a short track at Lucas Oil Raceway Park, but there's also the drag strip.
Yes, there
that
is.
the NHRA dragsters commonly take to.
It's a lesser-known venue, but of course, Indianapolis Raceway Park, of course, hosting that NHRA quarter-mile drag strip as well. It is, again, a true motorsports haven, not too dissimilar to some other venues that we see, right, like Las Vegas Motor Speedway and, of course, the ever-famed Charlotte Motor Speedway with their motorsports complex as well with ZMAX and, of course, the dirt track at Charlotte. But none of those can hold up to Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And, well, Lucas, we've got qualifying very much in the books here this afternoon, and drivers are starting to grid on up. All 34 just about have taken to the racetrack, so let's take a rundown of what your starting grid is going to look like for the next 80 laps. 200 miles set to kick off. And on the front row, a very, very familiar face with Michael Gudger standing atop the boards alongside the pure leader number 23 of Riley Halverson II. Row 2 on the grid, Aaron Raymond, a multi-time champion in SRA. He starts third alongside Elliott Kent with Napa Auto Parts 09 Chevrolet Silverado. Row 3, it's Rick English. He comes in hot in the 960 down in 5th, and he is alongside Nicholas Bowman down in 6th. Row number 4, Nick Goebel will be alongside Paul Witt, and then closing out the top 10, it's Juan Escamilla alongside Cody McKinney to round out the top 10.
And then starting in 11, it's going to be that James Yerger Ford Motorsports machine lining up alongside the 053 of Jim Duda. Then starting in lucky number 13 position, it's Tommy Sweeney alongside lucky number 13 of William McKellar IV. And then in 15th, it is going to be that 20 machine of Zane Bailey, who won the previous 2 races of this Speedway Blitz series and was the championship leader of the past 2 SRA series. But alongside him is going to be Gavin Addison. Then starting in 17th, it's Thomas Lane Jr. and Brandon McLaughlin in 18th. And then just behind them, to wrap out your top 20, it's going to be Dylan Foster alongside Dylan Wilbers.
21st place, it's going to be LZ Daly. He is alongside TJ Washed. And then back on row number 12, Jeff Gilmore and Kelton Quick. Row number 13, David Applegate runs alongside John Bowalda Jr. Row 14, holding Cody Witt and Kenyon Jackson. And then top 30 closed out by Jim Kolbensberger and Noah Swaffer. 2 more rows to go.
Yeah, and those 2 more rows will be filled with Robert Chiswick and Joshua Burke in 31st and 32nd, and then Joshua Jernigan and Scott Heidman in 33rd and 34th, and that will be your 34-car grid for tonight's 200-mile race around the Brickyard.
A couple of drivers failing to make the start. Notable drivers include Riley Halverson, the number 2 qualifier, and David Applegate, both starting this race from pit road here today. Unfortunate news for the both of them. Cantor right now working his way up and around this racetrack, trying to see if maybe he's got something for the front runners here. And Lucas, green flag will be coming out soon. How critical before we are slowing it back down, because boy, Indianapolis has a way of getting exciting.
Yeah, it's a track that, you know, tends to bring a lot of really close, intense battling, even though it's not a short track and you're not gonna see a lot of that stuff that you see at Richmond or Bristol or something like that. But it is a very long track. You can get some really good runs down 2 long straights and the 2 short chutes as well. So there's a lot that can happen around a track like this. And coming in at 2.5 miles, we'll be doing 80 laps around here to get us that 200 number that we've been talking about so often this stream so far. And starting on your front row, of course, it's Michael Gudger alongside Elliott Condra, but you cannot forget about Zane Bailey in that 20 all-blue machine. He's starting back, I believe, in 15th or 16th position, but you can never forget about him. He's currently won the only races in the Speedway Blitz so far, and being the championship winner the past 2 championships. That number 20 machine is going to be looking up to make a lot of ground early on in this race, Nolan.
Coming off turn number 4, we're happy you're joining us for more racing action here on a fantastic Saturday afternoon. And the pace car going to make its sharp left-hand turn into pit road. Before bump day qualifying comes a truck race, 80 miles, 200 laps of motorsports hallowed ground. Green flags in the air. It's go, go, go from the Brickyard. Firing down the back straightaway on all cylinders. It's a good getaway from Michael Gudge to kick things off. 2 by 2 wide. Back to the field. So far, looking to be a relatively orderly start. Good chunk drivers getting single filed out by the time they hit turn number 3. A bit of a close shave there, though, between Nicholas Bowman, as he almost got into it there with Paul Witt up in the 429, and it's going to be Gudger who leads the way at the end of lap number 1.
Yeah, it's safe so far, but you can see that 88 of Nicholas Bowman already getting loose. You saw it happen at turn 1. We saw it happen there in turn 4 again. So be watching for that 88 car, because if he keeps getting loose like that, he's really going to drive temperature into those rear tires. He's going to be struggling very, very quickly, as Nick Goebel in that one machine looking for a move on the 429 of Paul Witt. They're going to be side by side all the way down to turn 3.
Heading down the back straightaway, and a big defensive block there from a little ways behind. So some drivers getting a little bit feisty. This is on board of McKinney. He's got Juan Escamilla right to his inside and trying to really pinch him in, and he got blocked in the middle of the back straightaway. But Juan not willing to let him go quietly as they continue to duke this one out in a fierce side-by-side fight. But McKinney's going to pull clear with the draft down the front straightaway.
Yeah, not only does he have the draft, he gets a great run using the outside line at turn 4, but it's not over just yet. Escamilla's going for another move into 1. They're so close on exit. They're down the short chute now, still side by side. This is now Aaron Raymond looking on the inside of Paul Witt. These two are going to be side by side down into turn 3 as well. So Indianapolis is already giving us some great battles on even lap 3, maybe even 3 wide here, Nolan.
Looking for it, not going to commit though. Down to the inside goes Nicholas Bowman. He's going to get around Aaron Raymond, no problems there. Nick Goebel trying to follow through as well. An entertaining opening handful of laps, and definitely an aggressive bunch as well. Willie McKellar, meanwhile, trying to claw his way through the field. He's fighting it out right now with Thomas Sweeney as they are single file down the front straightaway.
Yeah, and Zane Bailey worked his way up into 13th position. He is the driver to look out for this race, ladies and gentlemen. So do expect him to be moving up even more, but don't worry about that right now, because it's a battle between William McKellar and Tommy Sweeney just behind that Red Bull 34 machine on the inside, 46 machine on the inside of William McKellar the fourth, and Brendan McLaughlin might even start to get interested in this if they keep battling each other and slowing each other down the straights. But now it's all single filed out, and the run down to the short chute will be done without any incidents.
Change of position further up the road here as Rick English has a seat to make a bit of a pass here. So some drivers are looking like they're going to be trying to have a run here. Firing their way up the racetrack we go. And cruising down to the turn numbers 1 and 2 for Rick English, who has picked up the number 2 spot early on.
Yeah, now the 053 of Jim Duda almost looked like he wanted to send it on the inside of Gavin Addison, I believe in the 25 machine. But Jim Duda, a regular to this SRA series, he's not going to be done yet. He's still going to look for a move on the inside of turn 3.
Yes, sir.
No, this is actually on board with Gavin Addison now, I think. Looking for a move on James Yerker.
And quite a few drivers still doing everything they can to try to have looks as you take a look in on some of the sights and sounds here around the Indianapolis Motor Speedway all across the racetrack. It is a hotly contested grudge match that several drivers are having to fight with, and boy, it is ever clear that these guys are not willing to go quietly.
Looked like Zane Bailey went for a move behind. It was a really late lunge. He does get passed into 12th place, but I think it might have cost Jim Duda some positions. I don't know if there's contact going. We might have to take a look at that, as I think we are going to right now.
And problems with Jim Duda really slow coming out of turn number 1. And yeah, Zane Bailey definitely got him in the left rear. Sent him sideways, and a great save for the 053 down there in turn number 1.
Yeah, Bailey just barely catches that left rear quarter panel of Duda. It was a late move from the 20. I don't think the L53 expected him to be there. And even though Zane Bailey was holding his line, Jim Duda just simply didn't know he was there and turned all the way to the bottom of the corner is what it looked like happened there. But out front, Michael Gudger getting Rick English, I should say, getting that gap down to Michael Gudger. He also has the fastest lap of the race so far. So Michael Gudger, who's a regular in the SRA series, has multiple wins throughout everything, might be under some pressure here today from this 960 newcomer. First time race here in the SRA.
Take a ride on board with Jim Duda here. This is coming down the front straightaway, and watch with the helmet here. You get to see how much wheel work he had to put in to keep this truck going in the right direction. This could have sent him into the outside wall pretty hard as he got turned by Zane Bailey. Kept his composure. No harm, no foul. Keeps it straight, and we keep it green.
Yeah, he did the perfect thing. Just give it a little bit of left side counter steer. You don't want to overcorrect. That's how you put your car straight into the wall and completely ruin your race. But yeah, you said it perfectly. He kept his wheel nice and calm. A little bit of left steering input and got that thing straightened up right away. And he only lost about 6 or 7 positions, I believe it is. No, he's down at 21st. So we lost 9 positions off of that incident, but much better than what it could have been.
Jeff Gilmore deep in the field for 22nd, looking down the inside of Dylan Foster. Gilmore going to take his truck to the inside line. Not able to get the move though, so Foster able to pick things off. For the most part, a very clean opening round to this race, right? I mean, we're already 8 laps in. No yellow flags to be seen, and most of the field running out single file. That said, Rick English is pushing hard, trying to run down Michael Gudger for the lead.
Yeah, but remember, Michael Gudger is really, really good at managing his pace, managing his tires. He has a lot of experience in these truck cars, also the Gen 4s, the Xfinities, the Next Gens, any car around an oval you could think of, the 64 has experience in it. So he's going to be playing that tire strategy game, playing that tire saving game. And honestly, if I'm Michael Gudger, I'm not too upset about Rick English sitting in my dirty air, burning out his tires to try to keep up with me. As the 81 looking for a move down the inside of turn 3, I believe that is. Not going to get it there, but we're going to take a quick look at something that happened in laps ago.
This is Brandon McLaughlin here, having a bit of a moment. Oh, caught the outside wall big time in turn 1, right on the exit, and spun into the inside. That's an easy thing to do here in Indianapolis, and we saw actually a couple of drivers doing this. In fact, one notable driver that did that during pole day qualifying was Lewis Woodall. During his qualifying effort, Lucas, he side-slapped that outside wall, spun right down into that concrete opening on the inside wall, and then that speared him all the way back across the track and back into the outside wall. It was one of the more violent crashes of the day that Lewis Woodall took in the turn 1-2 shoot, and something tells me not going to be the last one we're going to see with an intense bump day qualifying day coming up before too long.
Yeah, and he's very lucky that this is the truck and not an IndyCar, because if you hit the wall that hard in IndyCar, your front right axle is completely snapped and your race is over. But it looks like that 81 machine able to get away from that instant Scotch Perez. Here we go to move Thomas Sweeney on down the inside of William McLaren IV. Sends it in really, really deep. Zane Bailey has to go high to avoid any contact with that 46. And he will get 2 moves within the span of 2 corners. Great showing from Tommy Sweeney there as he moves his way up to 12. And
more trouble for McLaughlin as he again is going to slide to the inside of turns 1 and 2 and likely has found that outside wall again. Yep, found the outside wall this time entering turn 2 and just took that truck down low. So I think he's still nursing some damage from that earlier hit that he took. He's down to 27th now.
He's really just got to regain his composure, get back in a good mindset, try to calm his breathing, steady his jitters, and see if he can keep up some pace and hang on to the back of his pack to keep that draft. But never mind that. Now we have a move. Can't quite tell who that is. I believe that's Thomas Lane. No, it's not.
That is McLaughlin coming to pit road.
Okay, gotcha.
And TJ Washed trying to make a run on LZ Daly here. So this is the fight for 18th place, 33 and the 99, wanting to go at it. Although no move being made this time.
Yeah, apart from a couple battles going on up and down the track, this has been a fairly clean single file race so far. 12 laps in now. Aaron Raymond starting to look for a move on Cody McKinney for that 7th position. And we talked about it. Michael Gudger, that gap, remember, to Rick English was about 2 to 3 tenths. It's now been extended all the way to 9 tenths. So, a little bit of wall contact from not only Aaron Raymond, but it looked like Nick Goebel as well. As maybe already we're starting to see some struggling with those front tire wear.
Paul Witt going to lose out on a top 5 spot. Nicholas Bowman going to make the move to go into the 5th place, and a huge block to the inside on Cody McKinney. 3 wide down to the turn 3. Boy, that was a nasty block that Bowman just pulled on McKinney down the back straightaway into turn 3. Into 4. McKinney still holds the inside. He was not about to be deterred, and now up into the wall goes Bowman, and Aaron Raymond going to shoot for 3 wide up the middle.
And they're going to be 3 wide all the way down to turn 1. It's still Aaron Raymond on the inside of McKinney. Raymond able to clear himself. McKinney now gets sent inside by Nicholas Bowman. And Bowman has to secede 7th position as McKinney up to 6th and Raymond up to the top 5.
Boy, talk about a poorly judged defensive attempt. Goes from offense to defense, and now has to be all the way back on offense again. Aaron Raymond down to the inside, trying to bring some of that toe. McKinney maintains 6th, and Aaron Raymond, I'm sure, is smiling because he won that fight by barely even doing anything at all. You just saw, though, Cody McKinney clipped the inside curve and got the grass. That's on the racetrack, opens the door for Bowman. Back to the inside, contact this time by, and around's going to go Cody McKinney. Slides into the inside wall. Going to catch the pit entry cone as well. And Bowman with a black flag now to serve because he also had to duck through the pit cones.
I mean, you could just tell the trajectory of those 2 cars. Contact was inevitable on the exit of 4 there. And the 88s, the 28 battling each other so hard early on. It was really good, clean racing. You know, a bit of hairy blocks, a bit of, last second moves, but until that contact was made right there, they were giving us some good action.
Quite a wild slide that we saw McKinney take, and this is on board with, this is going to be on board here with Nicholas Bowman, and this is how he got his black flag. He's going to slip up the racetrack right there. He clipped that inside curve. He's going to get the 28 as a result, and tried to wrench the car back to the right, but he clipped that yellow entry cone, and that's going to do it. So he's got a black flag to serve now, and he's going to tumble all the way down from the field.
Yeah, so both of them, unfortunately, losing a lot of positions, a lot of time as well, due to that contact between the 88s sliding up into Cody McKinney there. But one thing I do want to shout out, Colton Quick up into 14th position all the way from 23rd. He has been the hard charger of the day so far. I believe that's him in the white car looking for another move. Yeah, there it is. Sorry, that Monster Energy number 8. He's closing in on the guys ahead, but the battles behind are super intense as well.
Right now up 9 positions for Kelton Quick as he gets set to make a charge going. Dylan Foster move out to the inside of TJ Washed, and watch a bit further up the racetrack, Gavin Adamson coming to pit road for the first time this race, so we might be right on the cusp of the first pit stop window of the night as well. And now a move made. Thomas Lane Jr. looking to the inside of Zane Bailey. I'm shocked that Bailey's this far down the field, honestly, because he is a driver that has taken back-to-back wins to kick off the Blitz, so to see him mire to the midfield, it's a shocker.
Yeah, that 20 car is really struggling here today. My assumption is that he just didn't put maybe the time of practice into this race that he did into Daytona and the other previous races of the year so far. Because, usually that 20 machine, he is coming out in full force, has a lot of pace, and is usually running in the top 3 pretty consistently. So definitely a bit of a shock as Rick English comes down pit road. That 9 and 60 machine was running in second place for essentially the entire race so far. Early pit stop for him.
Will McKellar joins him in pit road in the Nuka-Cola number 13. Wow, this fight with Yerger, Wilbers, and Daly. Still a tightly contested grudge match here. As that 21 machine of Wilbers trying to hunt down the inside. It's a hard task to be done, though, and, well, James Yerger Gonna look to clear up to the top, and just like that, Yerger is back through, and now Daly trying to go on offense as he is looking to the inside into turn number 3.
Yeah, so 33 making quick work there of the 21. Now looking for the move on the 19 as well. He might just get it done down into the turn 3 short shoot, or down turn 4, excuse me, and down the front straight. He has cleared James Yerger, but wow, look at that, Noah. Many cars coming down pit road this time by.
So pit stop window officially open, and it is a busy, busy place down there right now as virtually everyone coming down to the lane. Looking like someone actually may have clipped pit entry there. That is... Gosh, can't tell who that is. I think that's Joshua Jernigan? It's Chisholak. Robert Chisholak with a chase down pit road and had some damage on the left front. And he, in fact, had a black flag to serve.
Yeah, I saw that a little bit of his quarter panel like twirling around in the air and some weird iRacing physics there. So definitely some sort of damage for that machine, but I believe they have a faster pair in
That'll
this
do
league,
it.
so I think got it fixed up. Yeah, I don't know why that car's in the wall.
Well, let's jump back a little further and we'll find out. So this is Chisholak. This is coming around through turn 3. And this is going to happen coming off of 4. The back end just comes around to them, and he's going to go hard into the inside wall. Ouch.
Yeah, I think he was trying to turn too much left to get down pit road and just was carrying too much speed on the exit of 4 there. And just, yeah, essentially looped it. Rear tires couldn't keep up with the front and not able to save it as Rick English puts in the fastest lap of the race at 51.233, I believe it was, as the rest of the field now coming down pit road, making their stops. Jim Duda leaving the charge on that account. And James Yerger now comes down pit road. I was about to say, he has not pit yet, but he's going to now, so.
Caution!
And the caution comes out.
Yellow flag on the racetrack, and it is for Joshua Burke, who has gone into the, I think that's the turn 2 wall, I want to say. Actually, that might be turn 3, you know. But Joshua Burke having to wait a long time for this, for him to get the chance here to spin that car back around. Let's try to find out what happens here to Burke. Okay, well, he was slow out of pit road, evidently, and then into turn 3. What in the world?
He's got rear damage already.
He does.
You can see that rear bumper is really smushed in.
Leads me to wonder what the heck happened here. Let's jump back a bit further. This is going to be almost a minute before the caution comes out. I want to see. Okay, so coming out of pit road here. Oh, something happened for sure. He had a hardware failure or something go wrong, because that car just refused to shift into a higher gear. And then I guess he just lost the back end off of not having any rear downforce on him.
That's a really interesting accident, and you saw that it was his rear bumper is completely purple, and after the incident, it's completely white. So it's like the entire thing completely detached from the back of that machine. So it makes sense why he looped it into the next corner. It's gonna be hard to drive a car that has no rear downforce around any track.
He had a hardware failure of some sort for sure, because that car, that truck just refused to shift. And then he sat for an extended period of time as well, evidently trying to rectify, because obviously he was not at a dangerous spot on the racetrack. Well, I tell you what, we got a lot of racing action coming on up for us over here in the next little while, and especially so with the special race coming on up here on Wednesday for the Premier Sim Racing Outland Motorsports Truck Series. It all comes down to Wednesday night. One race at Auto Club Speedway to decide 3 different championships. A 3-way battle to decide the best of the rest. Will Nicholas Acosta hold on to a 9-point lead over Mike Tanner and Zach Williams? How about Regan Bogue Motorsports? Can they hold off Whiteback Race for the Teams Championship? And finally, a year-long playoff title fight. Will it be Regan? Will it be Holiday? Will it be Lowendick? Or will it be Mark Kalin? There's only one way to find out, and that's to tune in to Wednesday night on Greenflight TV for the season finale of the premier sim racing Outland Motorsports Truck Series. A night of action that you are not going to want to miss.
I mean, yeah, I had the pleasure to cast just one of those races a couple weeks back, and the racing they put on over there is absolutely spectacular. Definitely going to be tuning in to that one to see who wins it all, takes everything home that they've been fighting for this past season. And that's kind of where we are at in a lot of seasons, or a lot of series, I should say, because it's the end of the year. You know, end of November, December is coming up. A lot of these leagues are coming into wraps. You know, they're coming with their conclusions. They're coming to a close here, and of course, Premier Sim Racing is no outlier to that. And Nolan, I don't know if you noticed, but Zane Bailey up in 4th place. I wonder if he only took 2 tires in that last pit stop.
He did indeed take 4, but the catch is he took them later than everybody else. And not to mention, a lot of trucks came down under this ladies' yellow flag for fuel-only pit stop. So a lot of action still yet to be had here this afternoon at the SRA Superspeedway Blitz. And what we're going to do is we're going to jump aside, give ourselves a quick break, and when we return, Green Flag action returns on Green Flag TV. Stay with us.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Rev TV brings the world of motorsports into your home with over 100 live race series such as MotoGP, IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship, Extreme E, World Superbike, and the newly launched all-electric E1 series. From 2 wheels to 4, from land to sea, your destination is Rev TV.
Welcome back to Green Flag TV, where racing action is about to kick off once again for the SRA Superspeedway Blitz at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. My name is Low Rempel, alongside Lucas Moody, bringing you all of racing action from start to finish here. And I tell you what, Lucas, quite a lot of racing action set to kick off here once again. We're just over a quarter of the way through, and under 60 laps to go.
Yeah, and besides the really weird hardware failure that we had in that last stint, it was a really good green flag run there. Drivers were racing each other aggressive but clean as well, which is what we love to see around the Brickyard. And with the lights in that pace car already off, that pace car pulling down pit lane, it's time to go green once again.
Green flag backing you this time by Rick English, leads the field back to the stripe. And we take off down the front straightaway. Everyone fanning it out. 2 by 3. Some looking for 4. Oh, no, look out. We got more problems. One truck spun into the infield. James Yerger holds on to it. Caution, though, comes out quickly, as they're going to slow this one down before it has a chance to get any worse.
Yeah, James Yerger just gets absolutely heading into turn 1 there. It looked like they were 3, even 4 wide. Something must have happened on the restart for these drivers to get the runs that they did. Look at how chaotic this is.
Yerger just threw a block and he wasn't clear. Thomas Sweeney never moved. He didn't do anything wrong. That was all on the 19. Shocked that that's a brought out a caution flag. I didn't think that was going to be one.
I was thinking the same thing. The 19 got off the racing surface. It definitely shouldn't have been a green flag. I guess it's because he was in pit lane exit. Maybe that's why they brought it out.
Possibly. Well, but you're going slower in pit lane exits. That doesn't make any sense either. But yeah, no other yellows, no other incidents on the racetrack. That was indeed the cause of our second caution of the night here.
As Rick English does maintain the lead there, and well, there he is, Zane Bailey all the way up to second place from 15th, I believe. So that 20 machine, even though he hasn't had the best of pace with a good strategy, you know, going long on the fuel, or maybe that's what it was, Nolan. Maybe he's thinking that, okay, if you save a little bit of fuel, you can go 20 laps on a stint, making this a 3-stop race. So maybe he's not off the pace, he's just saving fuel instead, which would definitely make a lot of sense to why he's off the pace like that. And honestly, looking at the race as a whole, the best way to do it is definitely pitting at lap 20, 40, and 60. So maybe that's a 20 strategy there?
Well, who knows? Quite a few trucks are coming down pit road, and those that are staying out are they're putting the clutch quite severely. So I have a feeling that we are very much in for a fuel mileage gain here this afternoon with how these opening 2 caution flags have fallen. McKellar, Lane, Wash, Duda, McLaughlin, Bawalda, Witt, Colbensberger, Jackson, and more all into the box for service, and all of them for fuel-only service critically.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. That goes into right with what we were just saying, is that this is a fuel mileage race, ladies and gentlemen. It seems to be that these drivers full out, you know, full gas, gassing out every single lap, no fuel saving whatsoever. It seems to be around 18 to 19 laps. But if you're saving, like Zane Bailey, like James Yerger was, you can definitely extend that to 20, maybe even 21 laps. So as you can see, it's right on the cusp of that 3-stop to 4-stop strategy there. So fuel's going to definitely come into play here much more than the tires, especially with the cool track temp. When you have the track temp at 71 degrees Fahrenheit, like we saw earlier, tires aren't going to be getting that hot. They're not going to be getting worn down as much as they might on some other days. So fuel over tires is going to be the plan here tonight.
Coming up on Green Flag TV, apart from the Final Four race coming up for the Premier Sim Racing Outland Motorsports Truck Series, you've also got Bump Day qualifying coming on up. That'll be on Sunday afternoon as they get set to see who is going to be where for 29th through 33rd. And then the Precision Automobile Club Esports has their season opener on Sunday afternoon as well. They are at the Ultrapar Circuit with 19 Toyota GR86s set for sprint racing action. 15-minute sprint race and a 30-minute main event. That'll be coming up on Sunday afternoon with Howie Burrows and Fennicini in the booth. And then on Sunday night, a season finale with the Blitz ARCA Series at Homestead Miami Speedway, under the Final Four race there. And then the High Tide Racing League Premier Series swings to America's home for motorsports. There going to be a Charlotte Motor Speedway. Mid-Atlantic Racing Series is out at Phoenix. And the Beer League will be joining the PSR for their final race on Wednesday night. All of this and plenty more still to come as well on Green Flag TV all throughout the month of November. While quite a few leagues are getting set to close their doors for 2025, several others, well, they're just getting started.
Yeah, one of those leagues that is just getting started is that Zero Torque Racing League. Just had a race last night at Richmond that Evan Stewart won. And now we have 6 unique winners in 6 different races. We are now halfway done with the regular season. 6 more races to go before we start our 4 rounds of playoffs. Round of 16, round of 12, round of 8, and of course that final championship race. So make sure to tune into those Friday nights as well at 8 p.m. EST to not miss out on some great racing in the NASCAR Next Gen Cup Series car.
Well, that, of course, is from the Zero Torque Racing League, and boy, it was quite an experience, I think, is the best way to describe the race that happened last night at the action track. You wanted carnage, they gave you carnage, and well, we're hoping this race does not devolve into what we saw last night, but right now, Rick English leading the way still as he'll come out of turn number 4, and we are set to go at it once again. iRacing pace car will make that dive into pit road. And English will be the one to lead this field back to green. Couple of trucks already ducking out of line, trying to find where that jump's going to come from. Green flag's out. A little bit of wheel spin from Bailey, and we are back to racing. Fanning out. 2, looking for 3. Will anybody commit to 3 wide into turn number 1? Not this time. We stay 2 wide, and still we get some contact as the 99 leans on the door of the 25.
Rick English held them for so long. He just completely caught a lot of the field.
Trouble!
Behind the 81 with trouble again.
And once again, Brandon McLaughlin finds himself facing the outside barriers, and he's going to take a toe to pit road, and I think he is going to be done for the day. And hard to blame right. He caught the outside wall twice, and that put him down pit road for damage repairs, and, well, it's gone from bad to worse. And this time, he did have help, Lucas.
Yeah, so we'll get a good replay. See what happened here to the 81. He's on the inside of Kelton Quick in the 8s. The 81 gets really high and just chops the nose of Paul Witt.
Well, not even Paul Witt's fault. Witt was out of the gas trying to avoid.
Yeah.
James Yerger shoved him into it.
I also think the 81 went really high into the corner, tried to cut back down by the exit, and just wasn't clear.
Well, watch when Paul Witt comes in here, right? Watch that 429. See, right there, Yerger pushes him into the 81.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that was about to not be an incident. It's just a tough break, and looking like, I think, Kenyon Jackson having quite the avoidance up high. Take a ride on board with the 44 entry on what he saw.
Yeah, Yerger. Oh, wow. First off, great dodge from Jackson there. But, I mean, Yerger does get into the back of the 429 a little bit, but you saw how much the 81 moved down the track. I mean,
we have a truck
car
into the inside wall under caution. That is Robert Chisholwick. What's happened here? I just wasn't paying attention. He lost on the brakes because he was trying to avoid slamming to the trucks in front. He just wasn't looking where he was going.
Yeah, remember, this is a driver that already had to use his fast repair, fixing damage earlier, and I mean,
It gotta be more intended than that.
Yeah.
It's been a weird last.
It has been a weird. It's been a weird weekend, to be honest.
The first 20 laps went fine. I mean, no problems there. But you know, for lap 23 onward, it's just been one questionable moment after the next.
And now with these cautions, drivers are starting to come down pit road to get that fuel back up. As you see, I don't believe either of the drivers currently in pit road are taking tires. Fuel only stops for both of them. Or maybe they're getting damage fixed, as those guys are in the pits for a lot longer than you'd expect for fuel on the stop.
Yeah, they're going to be getting some damage repairs as well. So lap 30 on the cards. Lucas, why not? Let's give a chit chat in here to one of these drivers here that we haven't been able to talk to recently. Let's get on board here with Kelton Quick, the driver currently running in the number 8 spot. Kelton, obviously, it's a good run for you. 15th place, up 8 positions. You are 1 point the hard charger today. How's the truck feeling for you so far?
It's feeling pretty good. Just gotta keep hitting my line and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure I can get up to the top 10, but we just gotta see if we can get another long green flag stint going here.
Well, you had a good opening 23 laps, and with a few drivers being weeded out now for one reason or another, do you reckon we'll be able to get another green flag run here coming up?
I sure hope so. I think we can. It's just a matter if we can make our moves clean. But I'm pretty sure we can get another green flag stint. Obviously,
you are making your SRA debut here this afternoon. Are we planning to see you out on the track more with these guys?
Yep, that's the plan. I hope to do more of these in the future.
Awesome. Well, we'll hopefully see you on track again, and we'll wish you the best of luck then throughout the rest of tonight's race.
All right, thank you.
Kelton Quick currently running 15th place. He is up 8 positions from where he started back in 23rd. Earlier on tonight.
Yeah, Kelton also close friend, roommate, teammate, a lot of things that I'm related to him. I invited him to this series because the series we run over with our college of Ball State has been not delivering the best of racing, and just a lot is wrong with that league at the moment. So I invited him over to here because I cast it every Saturday night. It looks pretty fun out there. And he accepted the invitation. He's having a blast out there, and I'm hoping that he can make up some spots, maybe even crack the top 10, and hopefully we can see him on the podium and interview him again tonight.
So am I to assume then we can expect to see some good old-fashioned green flag TV commentators bias up here in the booth now?
Oh, I mean, it's been biased. I've been keeping an eye on the number 8 the entire race. Don't you dare worry. And when I'm casting ZTRL, when Terrence Murphy's from Cincinnati, it's hard also not to root for him as well. So there's definitely some slight bias when I pick favorites here.
Green flag coming out this time by, once again, as the field going to make the way to turn numbers 3 and 4. Lucas, we are gearing up to see if this time will be the one where we can get some more green flag running in.
I mean, we're going to hope, but with a lot of quick drivers up in the top 10 looking to make moves to take out or to take the leader out of his spot, it's going to be difficult.
Down the front straightaway. Green flag in the air, and racing action resumes once again from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Fanning out 3, fanning out 4. They're going to get it back down to 2. They look for 4. They did not commit to it. Couple trucks checking up a bit deeper in the field as they remain tightly packed together. Now 3 wide, deeper in the pack here, down to the turn numbers 1 and 2. As Nicholas Bowman wants to make a move, he jumps back up through the field. And we make it to the back straightaway.
Yeah, Michael Gudger now on the inside of Zane Bailey. That's teammate on teammate there into turn 3. Gudger able to win that time by, but now Nick Goebel looking for the same move onto the 20 machine. And just behind them, behind Elliot Condra, it's Escamilla down the inside of Gilmore, I believe. And now Zane Bailey looking for a move on Nick Goebel as the 1 machine got around him momentarily. As this opening lap of this restart here, bringing a lot of action. As there it is, a big lunge from Cody McKinney to get his way into the top 10 and behind even more.
And plenty of racing underway right here as the 99 of TJ Washington, Noah Swafford, remains situated up the top side of the racetrack. Headed down the back straightaway. There's the look as Michael Gudger tries to retake second place from Tommy Sweeney. Trying to get down the inside of the Red Bull number 46 and tracks up. He gets clear. So Gudger clears up from Sweeney. And deeper on, still got contenders like James Yerger having some moves not quite go his way. Thomas Jr. fighting back big.
Yeah, and I believe that's Paul Witt as well in the 429 trying to join that battle as the fastest lap comes in from Rick English once again. That 960 is out in front by a second, and he is not holding back his pace at all as James Yerger and Paul Witt battling it out to SRA regulars. But now we turn our attention to the front of the field. It's Nick Goebel looking on the inside of Tommy Sweeney for that final podium position. Down the back straight they go. They're going to be side by side into turn 3. And the question now going is, can Nick Goebel clear the 11 before the short shoot? The answer is yes.
Gets around him, and now he'll try to run clear with it into turn 4. Zane Bailey trying to see if he can open up a door down the inside and get a run going as well down the front straightaway. So Bailey takes to the bottom. Sweeney still held up at the top side of the racetrack here, and just behind them, Aaron Raymond. You see Raymond going defensive as Juan Escamilla wants to get a run going as well. He has cleared Kendra. Wants to try and claw his way forward as well, and still Sweeney on the backslide.
Yeah, but now they're 3 wide going down to turn 3. Aaron Raymond on the inside, Sweeney on the outside. This is not an easy corner to go 3 wide into. Sweeney has to back out of it. Raymond keeps his nose clean down the inside. Juan Escamilla as well, trying to fight back for Aaron Raymond. He's going to have to succeed the place. And Raymond nearly gets taken out by the 10.
We got 2 extremely aggressive drivers right now going head-to-head. And something tells them, much like Raymond, Juan's not willing to go down without a fight here. Raymond going to try to pinch him in. Wanted to try to force the 99 Alba. Juan Escamilla continuing to fight this one out. He finally is forced to yield as Raymond gets clear. And Escamilla's going to have to regather his thoughts here and try to chase him down, but right now he has caught in some of that dirty air. Back behind, Kendra under fire. That is the 28 of Cody McKinney. Oh, trouble! Hold on, Juan's got a problem. A technical failure for Juan Escamilla puts him to the outside wall in turn 3, and that is going to be our 3rd caution of the night. And you saw those wheels turn hard left, Lucas. That car just had a major technical failure.
And that car just got glued to the wall and wouldn't come off of it. It caused a little bit of contact with some of the drivers behind, but I don't think anybody else was oh my gosh. Look at that wheel. That front left wheel. That's
definitely a hardware failure.
Yeah. Wow.
And there he gets it sorted. This is on board. Yep, that'll do it. That's definitely not deliberate.
Yeah. It would be hard to do that quickly, to be honest, if it wasn't a hardware failure. I don't even think, because that's 2.5 full rotations of the wheel from center. I mean,
tell you what,
the only way that can happen is
this with Elliott Cantor. I mean, look at the job they did to get around that. That could have been a massive accident. It's fantastic drive from everybody else to get around him.
Yeah, I wonder if the 46 of Tommy Sweeney has any damage though. Because a little bit of contact was made with Escamilla there. I'm trying to peep that 46 machine. Of course, it's 11 on the broadcast, but the standings show him as 46, so we're going to be calling him the 46. It doesn't look like he got any damage, even though some contact was made, as looks like we got a lot of takers for pit road.
No surprises here, as virtually the entire field coming down. We were kind of getting to the end of the current fuel cycle anyway. So every single truck that's on the lead lap is in. A couple of trucks having to dodge and weave around their competitors while everyone else makes successful entries into the box. Now, we made it in just fine. Can we make it out just fine as well? That's the next big question.
Yeah, and the question is, what order will they come out in? Are they going to take 2 or are they going to take 4 as Bailey gets pushed into the wall by Jim Duda, I believe that is.
Well, there is your...
all right.
There's your running order for the field as they come out of pit road. Cody Witt, the lone driver who stays out, now holds the lead once again at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We're going to take ourselves with a quick jump back once more. And when we return, racing action resumes here in Indianapolis. Stay with us.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Rev TV brings the world of motorsports into your home with over 100 live race series such as MotoGP, IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship, Extreme E, World Superbike, and the newly launched all-electric E1 series. From 2 wheels to 4, from land to sea, your destination is Rev TV.
About to reach the halfway point here for the SRA Superspeedway Blitz at the Brickyard as we are under now our 4th caution of the day. Once again, my name is Lucas Moody. My name is Nola Rempel alongside Lucas Moody.
Whoa, nice to meet you, Lucas Moody.
As we get set to go racing once again here today. Lucas, this race started to jump off the rails just a wee bit.
Yeah, after a promising 20-lap green flag run, these past 19 have been the complete opposite as Cody Witt, remember, stayed out at that last pit cycle to inherit the lead. Thomas Sweeney in that 46 lines up in second with Nicholas Bowman and Rick English behind. And remember, guys, English has been the dominating force of this race so far. Him and Michael Gudger are definitely the 2 favorites to win the Brickyard 200 here tonight. But with not even halfway into the race, anything could happen, and favorites could become unfavorites very, very quickly.
Well, the field getting set to duke it out here. Out of the final corner. Cody Witt, Tommy Sweeney, the 2 that remain on pole position. Witt did not come down pit road under this latest yellow flag. Green flag is back in the air, and we take off down to turn number 1. A bit of a chop from behind as Cody McKinney shuts down. Believe that to be Kelton deeper in the field, and now 3 wide for the race lead as well. Cody Witt pushed into the middle. Sweeney up on, Bowman up on top. Sweeney into the middle, and now 1 truck kicking it down low, and it's complete pandemonium. We're 4 wide deeper in the field.
Zane Bailey got loose into the wall. Everybody keeps it safe. It's now Kelton Quick on the inside of 3. Down into turn 3 as Cody Witt almost makes contact with Rick English, your fastest lap holder. Michael Gudger now gonna return the favor to Cody Witt.
Cody Witt being pushed up the racetrack. Aaron Raymond in the mix as well. Raymond's gonna body Michael Gudger out of turn number 4 down the front straightaway. Multiple trucks stepping up from behind. A massive block for Gudger. Gudger pulling a huge block on Nicholas Bowman down the front straightaway into turn number 1. He's able to keep him at bay. There is no mercy being shown right now by the front runners. Cody Witt's in the wall.
Anything like that in the, I mean, what a lap. Just honestly, what a lap. And they're still 3 wide behind. I mean, we're going to be looking at replays of that lap for the next 10 minutes, I think.
They can't keep doing this. This is not going to go well if they keep this up. Somebody's got to get in here and settle this feud, because right now, a lot of folks are driving angry. Michael Gudger now looking to put the bumper to Aaron Raymond as the 6 truck washes a little ways up the racetrack. Gudger still keeps it straight, trying to chase down the 3rd place runner, while behind, Cody McKinney has got Nicholas Bowman trying to shove him up towards Elliott Cantra.
Yet a lot of aggression being shown here just at the halfway point. I can't even imagine what these drivers will start doing when it comes to 10 laps ago, 5 laps ago in this race, when everything is a fight for. As 2 moves now looking to form down the back straight here. That's Gavin Addison on the inside of Nicholas Bowman. He's going to get that move done very easily. As 3 wide now, Nick Goebel on the bottom, gets past James Yerger and come quickly.
Bit of a 3-wide moment there, another 3 moment here in turn 4. Off the racetrack, gonna go Cody Warrington once again, almost getting put into the outside wall. That causes a bit of a scramble here in the middle of the field, looking for 3 wide again. 1, gonna go up the middle here as Escamilla goes in the middle all the way up to the top. Zane Bailey still holds his truck down to the inside. McKellar in the mix as well. And Juan Escamilla will not be able to make too much more on offense here as Bailey clears him off of turn 2.
Yeah, Zane Bailey, who we saw had a lot of trouble on the opening lap there, trying to fight back, now in a 13th position. But it's Gudger on the inside of Raymond now. 2 SRA regulars, as I feel like I say so often here, battling it out. These 2 are very close competitors, very close rivals, and this battle is going to get very intense very shortly. As Tommy Sweeney doing a big snake down the front stretch, trying to break the draft to Rick English behind, but that 960 machine with the fastest lap still is hard charging for that first position.
Oh my goodness, and I still think we're not going to make it very far if this is the type of racing that we are gearing up to see here. Keep in mind, right, we got a 2.5-hour time limit on this race. So these guys are not, it's not like they're racing against the clock right now. But these drivers going to keep up an extremely aggressive fight. Tommy Sweeney still holds the top spot, and I think finally we've been able to find a little bit of order in the midst of a chaotic field.
Yeah, but I don't think that's for long, Nolan. As look at Gudger, look at Condra. They're both right on the back of the cars in front of them. And Rick English is soon going to be on the back of Tommy Sweeney as well. These top 5, you can throw a blanket over them. But now behind, that's the 57 on the inside of Bowman. Gilmore does get past on that occasion, jumping back to the battle for the front. What happens?
Tom Sweeney missed the bottom of turn 2. Rick English able to track around him. And now Aaron Raymond going to be pushed clear by Gudger, but Gudger tries to go up high. Raymond moves up to cover and holds the racing line. So Sweeney dropping all the way back to 4th. This is both of a bad run through turn 2. And here comes Elliott Cantra now, who's going to try to just keep the snowball going here. And in 1 lap, Tommy Sweeney goes from leader all the way back to 5th. And now Raymond and Gudger seem to have made a temporary alliance here to try to get around Rick English.
Yeah, just shocking lap there from Tommy Sweeney. He's going to have to regain.
Yeah.
He's got to reset his mental, or he's just going to keep dropping and dropping. And there you see Cody McKinney gets around the outside of him there. He might, Nolan, have burnt up his rear tires too much. And he's just struggling for grip out there. Now is Gavin Addison looking for the inside of the 46, and I'm sure that will not be a hard move for the 25 machine.
And Gavin Adamson gets through. Juan Escamilla fights his way around Zane Bailey a little bit deeper in the pack as well. Rick English continuing to lead the charge up front. But you can see how much Aaron Raymond is able to close down these straightaways with some help from Michael Gudger, giving him some pretty big pushes down the front straightaway, and that's making this an extremely tight fight for the lead, but caution still has to be exercise here, because one bad bump, even here, it'll easily send you into the wall.
Yeah, especially with the way these trucks are designed. They have that bed behind, really awkward gap from the bottom of the track to the bottom of the car. It's really easy to just get under the rear of somebody's car, get them a little bit airborne, and send their rear straight around. So they do have to be careful of that, but a little bit of bumping down these straights could be what Raymond and Gudger need to catch up to English. But hold up, bumping no more. The 64 looking for the inside of the 6.
And you just saw as well one truck go into the outside wall in turn 3, and here goes Gudger to the inside of Aaron Raymond. Raymond still holds his truck up on the top side of the racetrack. Gudger's got the inside at 2. And the Black's tire number 6 Silverado. Can he pull clear out of the second corner? Yes, he does. And the Ford F-150 forced to tuck back in line. So Raymond's going to keep up his fight. A similar battle between Swinney, Gilmore, and Daly. Deeper in the pack, and of course, got Goebel trying to make up ground as well, as he is looking to try and maybe fight his way up and around Dylan Foster. And we're going to get some more ground going pretty soon here.
Yeah, this is the point of the stint where, you know, 9 to 10 laps from now, we're going to start seeing some pit stops, and it's also a point where that tire crossover is going to happen. You know, who has been saving their tires, who has been pushing too much. It's all going to be revealed soon, but now the battle is Gilmore on the inside of Daly. He's going to make his way through up into 8th position, and now with the struggling Tommy Sweeney ahead, Daly might just look for that 7th place as well, as that 46 is seeming to be struggling on those rear tires with a good run out of 3, a little bit of draft, and a side draft as well. Oh, he might just decide to send it, Nolan.
LZ Daly's got a chance. Turn 3, he takes the iRacing F-150 to the inside, and he's through. Fights his way on by, as well as that Juan Escamilla picks off Paul Witt as well and puts himself into a top 10. Meanwhile, up the road, Paul Witt will be coming to pit road while Rick English under fire. Aaron Raymond round the outside into turn numbers 1 and 2, trying to pick off the 960. Michael Gudger wants to follow suit. Trying to go around the top shelf. Can't get there though, and Raymond to the lead.
For the first time this race, Aaron Raymond takes the point of the field, and Michael Gudger now seeing if he can find something, but it's a big block from English, and I think the aggression is going to start showing again here, Nolan.
I think a lot of drivers more kind of paying back the favors that Gudger was showing them early in the race, right? Because Gudger was throwing a lot of nasty blocks earlier today, and you throw enough of those, sooner or later you're going to have the favor repaid, and I think we're seeing a lot of that right now.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you saw the block that Gudger sent just about 5 or 6 laps ago. I mean, it was the biggest block I'd ever seen in a truck. Honestly, the biggest block I'd ever seen in iRacing up to this point, as he chased him all the way down to the inside of the track. Is Raymond! Big loose off the exit of 2 there. That might put him under fire from Rick English.
Heads up, a lap truck as well up the road that is fresh out of pit road. Aaron Raymond able to hold on to the lead. English was not able to get down the inside, but English trying to go for that crossover, right? Trying to go over and under into the 4. He didn't get the door open there. And Aaron Raymond coming to pit road, so is Gudger.
Okay, so I called it about 6 laps ago. Pit stops are going to be happening soon in lap 50. Nolan, what I'm suspecting is that they pit one time here, they pit one more time at lap 65-ish, and then they'll be good to the end of the race from there, because 28 laps on his stint, I feel definitely not possible, but pitting now gets you one more to the checkered flag.
And Aaron Raymond has just been black flagged for speeding on pit road. A tough break for Aaron Raymond, as he is going to be forced. And is it just me, or is Gudger giving him a bit of a push?
I don't think so. there seemed to be some gap there. Maybe a different view could tell us the full story, but if there's a bit of pushing, that's definitely a bit of dirty play from Gudger, especially because he knows there's no live stewards here tonight.
This is going to be from the pit road cameras. So this is pretty much at the moment where we see that. Sorry, this is the moment where we see that black flag come out, and hard to. Well, there is a little bit of a gap there. You're correct.
There's a gap.
Yeah, there's a gap. Hard to tell.
And if that is the case, I'll be honest, that's very unlike the character that SRA likes to show. This is a league about responsibility, about respect. Remember, they have the you claim your own penalty point system where if you're at fault, for instance, and you claim it before the stewards have to decide that you were at fault, you get less of an overall season penalty for causing the incident. So this league is about respect, about responsibility. That would be super out of character of Michael Gudger, as we have Rick English now, who's led many, many laps today, also coming down pit road. And that was Kelton Quick. We were just on that Monster Energy number 8 machine. So 2 more cars coming down the pit lane.
Still waiting on that everybody inside the top 14 to make their way into the box. 27 laps left to go on the boards here this afternoon as we are in our second green flag pit stop cycle of the day. And quite a few drivers here are actually putting the clutch, trying to save what little fuel they can.
Yeah, if the drivers that have not stopped yet, they can make it to 21 or 20 to go, Nolan, they might just be able to do it with one more stop for the rest of the race, which will jump every single person that has already come down pit road this stint. So if they're able to, you know, these guys like McKinney, like Addison, all of these guys who haven't pit yet, if they're able to extend 5 to 6 more laps from where they are right now, that could be the race winning strategy, as Jim Coleman'sberger all over the back bumper of James Yerger here. Once again, 2 more SRA natives, the 11, the 19, battling it out hard down to turn 3. Whoa, it's a lunge.
Yeah, that is Coleman'sberger. Wanted to get around James Yerger. Yerger saved quite a bit of fuel. Coleman'sberger wasn't, so he says, well, if you're not going to go, let me just get around you here already. Nick Goebel with a black flag, and he's not the only. We got a crash! Crash coming down the pit road. Dylan Foster makes it in, and Goebel getting a black flag as well on entry, but Dylan Foster has crashed coming into pit road.
Definitely some contact between those 2 cars. Maybe one got pushed into the other. Here we go. This is Dylan Foster in the 50 machine.
Oh, there was contact, but not between you. Who you thought? Oh, my goodness. Jim Duda sending Dylan Foster careening into pit road. Now, I have a hard time blaming Foster for this, right? Look at how far up the racetrack he is. If you're Jim Duda, you're not expecting him to be coming down to pit road there, but that's exactly what he did. I don't think Jim Duda did anything wrong there, because when the truck's up by the wall, the last thing you're expecting him to do is to jump all the way from the wall to the apron while chopping your nose while hard on the brakes all at the same time.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that is a really big line shift, but it's also one of those incidents that we simply cannot call from the booth. Really, to determine who's at fault there, it's did Dylan Foster call that he was coming down pit road, or did he not call that if he was coming down pit road? Because if he made the call and Jim Duda didn't expect him, then that is on Duda. But if Foster didn't make the call, then it's on Foster, and the caution comes out with 24 to go now.
And the yellow flag does indeed come out, and Lucas, do you have an idea of what for?
I think it was, I think Casper the Ghost had a bit of a spin exiting 2. I'm not too sure, though.
Well, I'll tell you what. We'll do this the old-fashioned way. We'll do this investigative journalist style. This is going to look messy, but there is the iRacing pace car. Wait for the moment. There's the
I
caution.
see.
And now
Okay.
you go and you go looking. That's all you can do. There it is. We found him. It's Joshua Jernigan. So Jernigan catching the outside wall then in turn 3. That's what brings the yellow flag out here this afternoon. Let's find out how we ended up in this situation. And it's Juan Escamilla that gets into the left rear. And yeah, I agree. Not clear for Jernigan.
That's a really hard one though, because Escamilla gets there just by the exit of turn 1, I believe that is. So it is really hard to know for Jernigan that he's there, but definitely enough time for the spotter to say car high, car high.
Caution number 5 on the afternoon. This is going to bring the top 6 into pit road, and this is going to change up the strategy quite a bit as well because, well, we don't know who's quite going to be safe on fuel. Green flag coming out this time by. We're going to go side by side with you here on Green Flag TV. This race, well, it's shaking up to be a bit of an intense one, and we'll see who is going to be starting where when race in action kicks off once again here on Green Flag TV. Stay with us.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to Green Flag TV. Race in action set to resume once more. And, well, Lucas, this race has continued to, it's continued to show itself that it has potential to be quite an interesting one. We got, 20 laps to go here at the line, and some drivers were able to push it to the 20-lap mark on these latest stints.
Yeah, if this goes green flag here to the checkered flag, it's going to be a little bit of fuel saving that these drivers have to do. But Nolan, if we get just one caution that extends that fuel tank just enough to allow these drivers to not have to do any more fuel saving for the rest of the race. But you definitely want to make sure you save just a little bit in case the caution doesn't come out. Because if you have to make one more stop here before the race ends, you're going to really, really hurt yourself. Because I know a lot of these drivers are not planning on coming back down pit road once or any more times during the rest of this race. And Michael Gudger back to the point for this restart. Remember, Nolan, he's actually the one that started on pole position. Even though Rick English has been leading a lot of the laps, it was the 64 that qualified #1. And he's going to be alongside Elliot Condra for this restart. And just behind them, Tommy Sweeney who led a decent bit of laps starting that last green flag run before he struggled with some rear tire wear. So we'll see what that 486 car can do on this restart as well. And that's your top three. With the lights on that pace car out, Nolan, it's time to get going green once again. Let's hope for the last time as well.
Of course, still a long way to go before racing action can properly get back underway. Well, not before before it finishes up here this afternoon, and a lot that can happen in these last 20 laps as the iRacing pace car pulls down and into pit road. Green flag coming back out this time by, and we are once again racing at Indianapolis.
Gudger gets a great jump, already clearing himself. Sweeney now looking for the inside of Elliott Condra into turn one. Condra gets to the wall, so Sweeney gets cleared. Gudger already with a 3/10 of a gap, but we're 3 wide, just behind. I believe that's Dylan Wilbers, and now we're 3 wide again. 4 wide almost.
Juan Escamilla down to the inside of the racetrack. He's going to look to get around William McKellar. Condra up on top as he slips back into third. Tommy Sweeney maintaining a second place run. And still 2x2 wide, and a bit of contact there between English and McKellar.
As English wants to get back to the point of this race is big loose for the white car there in the background. Couldn't quite tell who that was, but Gudger and Sweeney have pulled away from the rest of this pack here as Condra really struggled on that restart. He's already under fire from Juan Escamilla as, whoa, what a hornet's nest. Aaron Raymond on the inside of Kelton Quick is on the outside of Jim Colmansberger, I believe that is. This is all, remember, ladies and gentlemen, fighting for 19th position here. And Aaron Raymond is looking to make it 3 wide into 3.
Pushing Jim Colmansberger here. He wants to try and see if he can push Colmansberger up, further up past John Buwalda Jr., but Colmansberger without the tire advantage to make that move happen, so Raymond's going to have to try to find a different way to get through. He is right now very much trapped in the midfield. He just can't find a way to get through. Now he's going to look for 3 wide as the number 8 of Kelton Quick dropping down the order. As well as this Juan Escamilla clearing from Rick English into turn numbers 1 and 2. James Yerger finds a hole between Kenyon Jackson and Thomas Lane Jr. Although Quick slips back as Lane cuts back to the inside.
Yeah, now these two packs that have been fighting each other have caught up to one another, and now the 50 car looking for the inside of James Yerger. I believe that's Jeff Gilmore, the 57, not able to make it happen on the account, so he has to file back into that single file line. And now just ahead of them, another battle looking to happen. I believe that's Paul Witt on the inside of Kenyon Jackson there. That's to crack the 11th spot there as Zane Bailey still holding on to the top 10, but just barely.
Rick English. Oh, hold on. Sweeney's just caught the wall. Down the front straightaway as he's going to go at it here. And now just behind Rick English, looking to track up after Elliott Condra, McKellar, and McKinney going at it as well here. Down the front straightaway into turn number 3. McKinney's able to hold on. McKellar up top. McKinney's going to clear. And Zane Bailey now in a sharp back, so he's lost 3 spots at 1 corner.
Yeah, make it 5, almost 6 too if Nicholas Baumann can get to his inside left quarter panel. But yeah, shocking series of corners there for Zane Bailey as we have a move as well. That's, I believe, Jim Duda on the L53 trying to get past. Thomas Lane Jr. as well makes a move down the inside of Nicholas Baumann. As now looking further up in the field, that's Tommy Sweeney losing a position to Juan Escamilla for second
here we
place.
go.
And Condra with the big block out of the 28.
Mirror driving Cody McKinney down towards the apron there. McKinney's going to stuff it in anyway. Condra forced to back up a little bit here. Going to maintain his momentum all the way on the inside of the racetrack. Rick English, meanwhile, oh boy, a little bit of a moment. Tommy Sweeney, further up the road, still runs in a solid third place.
Yeah, but he's got to be careful about burning up those rear tires like he did in that last stint. Hopefully he has learned his lesson, but Rick English now trying to put that 46 machine into fourth place, and he will be doing that as he gets past, putting Rick English back up into those podium positions. And now it's worse, it gets even worse for Tommy Sweeney as McKinney looks down the inside as well. And once again, Nolan, he's just falling off on the pace 5 laps into the stint.
15 laps the distance. And still plenty of time for this to go sideways for drivers all throughout the grid. Paul Witt, James Yerger, Dylan Wilbers, all ready to gear on up here as they make drives down into turn number 1. Behind, Thomas Lane Jr. not able to attack Kenyon Jackson into turn number 1.
Not just over yet, is a little bit of loose, a little bit of wiggly wobbly there for Addison. It almost looked like McKellar wanted to fight back there, but he decides not to. He decides to file in, and he's going to be okay with 8th place for now. As a little bit of technical difficulties happening, but we're going to get the racing in action back right there, as we can see William McKellar still holding on to the 8th place.
Hunting down to the inside line there is going to be Gavin Addison. Addison going to fight his way on through. Elliot Kandra still maintains 5th place on the racetrack. Juan Escamilla has not been able to get to Michael Gudger yet, but he has not been falling back either. Cody McKinney also going to make a look now, trying to go down the inside of English.
Yeah, McKinney now being the hard charger of this stint, as I believe he started it back in 6th or 7th position. He is right on the back of English. You can see how much he wants this position. Gonna see if he can get a run out of turn 4 and use this long front straight to find the inside of English. And knowing the 960 does not want to be fighting that, it looks he might just concede the position.
McKellar down pit road for his final stop of the day. Meanwhile, Juan Escamilla, Michael Gudger set to make a run. These are 2 drivers that have been some of the most aggressive drivers on the circuit. And boy, what a ride this is getting set to be here. As Juan Escamilla, Michael Gudger ready to go head to head.
Here we go, the 64 versus the 10s at LSU. Michael Gudger paint scheme that we're so accustomed to seeing leading fields here at in this SRA league. And Nolan, I will never ever forget, as cars come down pit road, they might have not done enough fuel saving.
Well,
that's really weird.
Well, some drivers are also, remember, they're forgetting fuel saving. They're just trying to go hard as they can so they can try and get a run going here by the end of this race. So they're going to keep up the fight as best as they can muster. Gavin Addison, meanwhile, up the road. He's going to look to the inside of Kandra.
He's got a little bit of that left rear quarter panel, enough to make the move down the inside of 3. But the question is, can he clear him? Yes! He does clear him before they get to the short chute, and Addison moves that 25 up into 5th place. And yeah, I guess a lot of drivers just didn't expect to have to be saving fuel, and instead of trying to make a play without pitting again, as someone's in the wall behind.
That was the number 50 truck that caught the wall big. That is Dylan Foster that went into the wall. All the while we enter the final 10 laps of this race with pit stops underway.
As yeah, Gudger, Escamilla still battling it out here. But, I mean, this would be the time to pit. Cut the stint in half. 10 laps on one set of tires, and then 10 laps on the next set of tires. But ideally, you shouldn't be having to pit, especially if you saw what Zane Bailey, what Michael Gudger, James Yerger, the center that Ford Motorsports team was doing. But no, Michael Gudger also not good in the number. He has to come down pit road as well, as it leaves Escamilla in the lead now, as we have a huge battle. It's a hornet's nest behind. Jim Duda looking for the inside now.
Still trying to make a move here as Jim Duda looking to the inside of Jeff Gilmore, and some trucks in here still saving fuel. 9 laps to go. Juan Escamilla leads the race, and I would imagine Juan's going to be looking to come down pit road this next time by to answer to the undercut from Michael Gudger, while Gilmore continues to try and run down Yerger.
As now Bowman looking for the inside of the 57. He slides up a little bit.
Oh, look out!
And there they go, spinning around.
And that could be a big incident here. Nicholas Bowman down on the inside of the racetrack. And yeah, he has hit the inside wall pretty hard there, Lucas.
Keeps off the racing surface, so we are going to stay green, but that's the day over for the 88 machine, as he kind of took himself out there, if I'm going to be honest.
Just lost control and went into the safer barrier on the inside wall.
Just sent it in a little too deep. Couldn't keep the car glued to the bottom. Made contact with the 57 above him, and that was just enough to unsettle his car, to put that thing into the inside wall. And it's a rough end of the day for the 88, but I mean, sent it a little bit too hard, and honestly, it happens, you know.
And another oh, look out, hold on!
Oh.
Dylan Foster has just hit the pin attenuator, spins into the racetrack, and that brings out the yellow with 7 to go.
Okay, so no more
goodness.
fuel saving here for these drivers with the caution that comes out. And this shakes up the order absolutely completely, as about half the field has come down pit road and about half of them hasn't. So let's see what happens here. And
He just lost. He wasn't coming to pit road. He lost the back end, and back end locks it down, and then he's going to just fire right into the attenuator. That is a horrifying crash right into the driver's side door. And yet again, Lucas, another one of those moments where you think, oh boy, I'm glad this is not real life. Many drivers have hit that attenuator, and it's never pretty.
Yeah. I mean, hitting that driver's side door against a concrete barrier. I mean, yeah, look at this one more time.
Look at how far backwards he shot back across the racetrack, too, after he hit that. We'll look at that from the air, but this is the look on board with that number 15. This is going to really emphasize how fast he went into this wall. Jeez. And this is going to be from the air.
This is going to be scary to see here.
And I want you to take a look at something here in a moment, Lucas, but see the pit. Look at how far backwards that truck got rebounded. Not just across the racetrack, but backwards. Holy, that's got to be what, a whole truck length or two?
I'm looking at 5 or 6, if I'm honest.
Jeez. Absolutely
the
terrifying crash.
iRacing physics is a bit weird with that, because those are tires there, I believe, and, you know, tires are made of rubber, and they have a lot of bouncing properties. And iRacing loves to just catapult people off of those walls. I know the same thing happens at Sebring. That's a wall I've messed around with a lot. So it's just, it is a little bit of a weird iRacing physics moment, but still, every force has an equal and opposite reaction. The opposite reaction was pretty big there, I can't lie.
So, by the way, it is not actually a tire wall. It used to be, of course, and of course Armco before that, but right now, it is actually made primarily of Impax foam, which is a material that was designed by Coastal Automotive.
Okay, interesting. I
Yes.
never would have guessed that, if I'm honest.
This is coming from Google's overview, so take this with a grain of salt, but according to them, it consists of multiple layers of precision-engineered lightweight foam that maximizes energy absorption during an impact. Honestly, it's more effective than tire bearings, if I had to guess.
Yeah, probably. That's probably why they swapped over.
Goodness gracious. That is never something that you want to see, though. Ever. I mean, goodness me.
As you said, it's one of those moments where, like, thank God this is a simulator.
Yeah.
This is not real life, because especially that contact, that impact was made into that inside driver's door. I mean, that would have, not only the physical action of stopping that quickly, but the impact of pushing the corridor in on the driver, essentially. I mean, you're talking about the left side of the driver's body really left in shambles. So, yeah.
Well, all of this is going to solve the fuel equation, except for two. Elsie Daly, Zane Bailey, staying out.
Interesting, but I think it makes sense. I mean, if you had been saving already, and now you can use the caution to save even more, the only disadvantage you're going to be at now is tire wear. And if you can jump essentially the entire field for just a little bit worse off on the tires, I would 100% take that risk, especially if you are a guy like Jim Duda, who we know has a lot of pace. Sorry, not Jim Duda. It's Bailey and Daly that jump the field. So I know Bailey has a lot of pace. I'm assuming LZ Daly as well has a lot of experience in this car. Definitely a risk I would take. So it makes sense that we're seeing it here tonight, as I believe Jim Duda is a lap down, so he'll probably get a wave around the pace car this time by, is my assumption. And there he goes.
Green flag going to be coming out this time by. And it's going to be a 3-lap dash. Now, Lucas, this race could be facing overtime. We have up to 2 attempts. Do you think we use those?
Do I think? Yes. Do I want to? No. I hope we can keep it green, keep it nice and clean, nice and caution-free for these last 3, but with how these drivers were racing on lap 1, on lap 77, I'm expecting that to be already amped up from what it was at. The amount of aggression that's about to be shown is going to be on some astronomical levels, especially with 2 drivers, the 33 and the 20, on older tires leading the field away. That causes all sort of 3-wide and 4-wide chaos to ensue. If you're expecting a clean race here on out, I don't know, honestly. It's gonna be some chaos, is what I'll say, Nolan. And if you like seeing chaos, if you like seeing wrecks, if you like seeing some good action and battling, this is really where you want to tune in, get some popcorn, and sit down on your couch, because it's about to all kick off here.
3 laps, 7.5 miles. We only need to make it 5 of those in order for us to make it to the checkered flag under green flag conditions for sure. The pace car pulls out of turn 4. Elsie Daly with the lead. Bailey in second. They might not be safe on fuel. They have taken the gamble on staying out, but if we get overtime, they might be hooped. Green flag is out this time by. Another yellow flag forces this race into overtime. Jim Duda, sorry, not Jim Duda, but one driver making an aggressive look to the inside of 3 wide down to the turn number 1. And we're 2 wide all the way back to the field, all the way into turn numbers 1 and 2 to the back straightaway.
Zane Bailey on the outside of LZ Daily Stale. Now Gudger looking for the inside of 3 wide. English throws a massive block onto the 64, and they're going to be 2x2, even 3 wide down in the turn 3 here. Gudger on the inside.
Zane Bailey trying to go over the top spot. They're still 3x3 wide down through the field here in the mid-pack. English down on the inside. Gudger in the middle. And of course it is Escamilla up high. Whoa, look out! One truck upside down! Robert English tumbling down the front straightaway. Almost over the pit wall. He's hung up on the pit wall. Tumbles down. A frightening crash for Rick English on the front straightaway as he went skyward. And Lucas, it's overtime.
It is.
Boy, that came out of nowhere. What in the world?
I mean, I saw it coming. He just didn't know they were 3 wide still. Tried to bring himself all the way up to 1 car width to the wall, and there were 2 cars there, and that's all she wrote.
The air just got underneath him, and he just went
Wow.
up over the top of Gudger, over the top of Sweeney, and went tumbling down the front straightaway. Thought for a moment here he would flip into pit road. The Declan got hung up on it a bit there, you see. But he ends up down on all 4s and shocked that that was not worse than really a 3-truck incident.
Yeah, I mean, driver's doing a great job of getting on the brakes, getting out of the way. You saw Kelton Quick there as well, having to make a last-second move to avoid. Get another look at it.
Up and over.
I mean, he just catches it instantly. Wow.
Goodness gracious, and tumbled all the way down the racetrack. One of the wildest stock truck crashes that we have ever seen at this racetrack. The only other vehicle we've ever seen flip over on the front straightaway here is an Indy car. Over he goes, and boy, he took a tumble. Right
oh my
on.
Gosh, close call for the 8 there.
Right on board with Elliot Cantra.
Oh my.
Jeez Louise. And they nearly wrecked again there as well. And you said Kelton Quick had a near miss. May have been John Bualda Jr. though.
Yeah, it happens way ahead of him, but he tries to go low to avoid it, but that's where English goes.
And, oh boy, a little course correction. Golly. Not the way that Rick English wanted to have his race come to a close. As over and tumbling.
I mean, that's like the moment from Lightning McQueen where, I mean, you know exactly the picture I'm talking about at home probably, where the driver's, you know, roof onto roof, the guy's upside down, and the one looks up, the other looks down, and they make eye contact for a bit. I mean, it's exactly what happened there, and
right around here, watch the Declan hooks, and that's where I thought the truck was going to go into pit road, but physics kept him on the racetrack side of the Brickyard. Overtime attempt number 1 coming up here, Lucas, as this race gearing up to be a bit of a wild final run. And Zane Bailey right now being pushed by Juan Escamilla. I think Bailey... Okay, so hold on here. Zane Bailey has completely shut the truck off and is actually using Juan Escamilla to give him a push to help him save some more fuel under caution. I don't know if that's allowed, but we're running with it. We've seen everything else in this race.
To be fair, I don't think there's live stewards in this race. This isn't an official league race. when all is said and done. So whatever goes, goes, I think.
Two laps to go. And what a ride this one is getting set to be. What do you think? Any picks to win this one? Because I don't think Bailey's making it to the checkered flag, honestly, because he is still being pushed by drivers further behind.
I mean, if it's not Bailey, if it's not English, third in line has to be Michael Gudger, even though he's in fourth right now. That 64 has had so much pace here today. He has so much pace in this car in general. He's definitely gonna be my favorite to win this race in this first overtime attempt. But who do I want to win? Well, of course, it's gonna be that number 8 of Kelton Quick, starting all the way back in 13th. We'll see if some miracles can happen to catapult that 8 machine up to the front row of this race. But with 3 to go here, you know, I predicted chaos last time, Nolan, and I don't predict anything to change this time around.
Green flag coming out this time by Zane Bailey with the lead. The question is, does he have the fuel to go the distance? He's been pushed all throughout this caution flag. As a result of the overtime and how low he is on the fuel tanks, good odds that he runs out coming to the white flag. Green flag is back in the air. 2 laps to go from Indianapolis. And already we're looking for 3 and 4 down in the turn number 1. They keep it 3.
Oh, Addison! Moment. And Jernigan's around.
Jernigan spins, and just like that, we're going to reset for overtime attempt number 2. And I think Bailey's going to be forced to the pit road. There's no way he's got the fuel for 2 overtime attempts if it's being pushed that aggressively on just the first.
I mean, now he's getting help from his teammate Gudger as well, as I believe they're actually 1-2 in the field right now. As I mean, that's a funny sight to watch.
Take a look. As James Yerger is the one that spins around to put us, Jernigan, the one that spins around to put us under the second to last caution flag of the night, or what could be the second to last yellow flag of the night. Just not clear. Turned himself across the nose of Joshua Burke.
Yeah, it's a little sloppy there from the driver of the 22 Ghost Energy machine. It was definitely a bit netcodey. I think I saw a little bit of a gap in between the 22 and the 24 there. But at the end of the day, he wasn't clear, and I think contact was inevitable no matter what. Says Gudger is actually going to be in third place for the restart, I think. Escamilla is going to be in second.
Pace car all the way over in turn 3, so these drivers really having to hustle to catch up to it. At least I think it's in turn 3. It is in turn 3. Ah, there they are. I was wondering where the leaders were.
Well, remember, Bailey is saving fuel, so he's not going to be, you know, trying to really catch up to the pace car here.
And he's going to stay out. He thinks he can make it if he gets some help fuel saving. Battery's holding on with a hope and a prayer.
Look at that. He's driving all the way past the pace car because he knows if he goes on the brakes, he's going to just use that much more fuel to get that speed back. I mean, this is insane, Nolan.
Zane Bailey continues to lead the way here this afternoon, being pushed past the pace car in order to help him save that little bit of extra critical fuel that could see him potentially take a win here this afternoon. More racing action coming on up as it's the final laps from Indianapolis. We'll be back in a moment on Green Flag TV.
Rev TV brings the world of motorsports into your home with over 100 live race series such as MotoGP, IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship, Extreme E, World Superbike, and the newly launched all-electric E1 series. From 2 wheels to 4, from land to sea, your destination is Rev TV.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to Green Flag TV, where we are geared up to resume racing action here this afternoon. My name is Ola Rempel alongside Lucas Moody. And Lucas, only 2 laps to go in this race when we go green, and this time it'll be official. Another caution ends this race.
Yeah, but we hope that we don't see another caution. We hope that we can catch the white flag so we can get 2 real good laps of green flag racing here, but you never know with the way these guys have been driving, with the aggression that they've been showing. You never know what'll happen, and a caution is definitely not completely out of the books. And if you're just tuning in, make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, the notification bell as well. Green Flag TV is only 50 away from that milestone of 2,000, so it will help us out so much if you would please subscribe to the channel. And Zane Bailey is the story of tonight, starting in 15th, currently in 1st. The question is, can he make it to the end of the race on fuel? We really don't know.
Plenty of action still yet to come here tonight as the field is going to make their way into turn numbers 3 and then back around to 4. The final race of the season set to kick off. The final laps of this race ready to kick off once again. As they'll make their way to the front straightaway. Lucas, green white checker time. Let's see who takes this one. Under caution or under green?
Let's see, Gudger, Bailey, Escamilla, who will it be? A surprise from the back. It's all out here tonight as the field goes green racing for the last time here at Indy.
Green flag is out, fanning all the way out. They're not going to make it here, and around they go already. Come on.
That did not last long.
TJ Wash, Jeff Gilmore, and that'll do it.
Well, Zane Bailey wins yet
3
another race
in
as
a
long as he
row.
can make it around.
Yeah, that's the big question. Can he make it?
I mean, absolute clinic from the 20 driver. It is not easy to win 3 races in a row, let alone 3 essentially completely different tracks. As what are we doing? We're 4 wide.
And it was shocking, not even that. It was TJ Wash who just threw a block on Paul Witt. Wasn't clear. Jeff Gilmore, Noah Swafford both get involved, and they spun up and into the outside wall. That's all she wrote.
Yeah. I mean,
oh man, Swafford. You saw Swafford kind of get hooked.
57.
Well, he got hooked up into the air, actually. He kind of just went straight. Take another look at this one. And watch Swafford's truck real close here when he gets turned up towards the outside wall. Because that 99 truck's going to spin around. And then watch the 17 here as the front of the 99 swings around. And look at that. up on 2 wheels and just went straight on into the fence.
Oof.
Ouch.
Yeah, big hit into that outside wall there, but yeah, I'm just shocked. That's the end of the race. I mean, it was such a good race. So much has happened, great battles, but for it to end like this, you know, I'm just left wanting a bit more, as
Well, this
we
is
didn't
it.
really get that last lap battle.
Well, Zane Bailey going to be the one who comes home, and Bailey wins the 3rd Superspeedway race for the Superspeedway Blitz, and it is 3 in a row for the defending champion. And just like that, Lucas, he's out of gas.
Yeah, cut a little bit close there, I think. The 20 did, as to round out your podium, but will be Juan Escamilla, the first-time driver. And of course, in 3rd, your Ford Motorsports teammate of Zane Bailey, Michael Gudger, rounding out your top 3 podium. And I can't wait to talk with these drivers. You'll have a fun time interviewing Bailey to his thoughts on that fuel-saving incident there at the end.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Well, tell you what, a hard-fought race for many drivers here this afternoon, and it is Bailey taking his 3rd in a row this afternoon in unlikely fashion to do it, but hey, a win is a win at the end of the day. Then it's Juan Escamilla down in 2nd, Gudger in 3rd, Kendra 4th, Cody McKinney, Will McKellar, Gavin Addison, James Yerger, Tommy Sweeney, and Dylan Wilbers round out the top 10.
And then coming home in 11th is Jim Coleman-Sperger in 12th. LZ Daly, and then Raven behind Jackson. Your hard charge of the day, Kelton Quick will be coming home in 15th. Then just behind Paul Witt, John Walter Jr., Jim Duda, Thomas Lane Jr., and Cody Witt round out your top 20.
And moving back through the field and to close out the field, it's TJ Wash, Noah Swafford, Scott Heidemann, Jeff Gilmore, Joshua Jernigan, Joshua Berg, Rick English, Nicholas Bowman, Dylan Foster, and Nick Goebel, with the likes of McLaughlin, Chisaweg, Halverson, and Applegate closing out the field. Well, all of that takes us to the end of what was a good race here this afternoon, and then, well, things happened, I think, is the best way that could aptly describe how that race came to a close after the fact. But we'll take a rundown and give a chit-chat in here to all the drivers that finished this race, numbers 1, 2, and 3 here this afternoon. Well, let's kick things off first and foremost with Zane Bailey, who will be the driver that takes this one away. And we'll move Zane into the broadcast booth now and give a chit-chat with the driver that has just taken his 3rd win in a row. And Zane, this one, not by much. Tell me, did you have the feel to go if that race ended under green?
I had enough feel like by 0.2 laps, maybe 0.1. It was going to be close. I'd like to thank my teammate Michael for helping me save fuel at the end there. And I almost considered taking tires on that one caution, like at lap 57, I think it was. But I'm glad I stayed out and was able to hold on.
Kind of walk us through this race here, because obviously this one was a bit of an interesting ride here today. Quite a few cautions in this one, and you were just able to maintain that run up front right when it counted at the end.
Yeah, I rolled off in the truck, qualifying extremely slow. I was way too conservative on the first lap, and then second lap was slower. So qualified back in the weeds. That was tough. So yeah, that was a battle getting up to the front of the field, and this is like my 2nd time racing here in trucks. I still hate the track. I don't know, I don't like it. It doesn't fit my driving style, so it was definitely a challenge, and you really couldn't pass anyone. If you tried to pass anyone, you were a lot slower than everyone else, and then the guys in front of you would just run away, and then you had to regain it, so it was tough.
So overall, a stellar race for you here today, and what do you think? Next week coming up, will it be 4 in a row?
I don't think so. Atlanta isn't my favorite track. Is it new or old?
It would be new.
Oh, it's new. I thought it was going to be old. New, as long as I don't don't get taken out, I feel pretty good, but I'm probably going to get taken out.
Well, we wish you the best of luck when we go racing once again next week. Congratulations on taking your third in a row, and we'll see if you'll make it 4 next week on Up Here.
Yep, thank you.
Bailey comes home number 1, and coming home second place, it would have been Juan Escamilla. He is not available for comment here this afternoon. So, Lucas, you're standing by with our third place runner, Michael Gudger.
Well, welcome into the booth, Michael Gudger. Definitely a familiar face around here as well. Coming home that final podium position. Talk us through the race and the fuel strategy and how you guys played it.
I don't know. I was probably fastest car on the track. Couple challengers here and there. Kind of got led up until that first pit stop. We had an awkward caution. Kind of got stuck back, and was starting to work my way back up there. Led a bit, and then we just had weird cautions there at the end. Ended up with a 3 wide incident there late, but fortunately got saved from any damage and was prime position to win that race until unfortunately people in the back couldn't keep it together. But that's just a common theme with this league. But oh well, it's unfortunate, but that's just how racing is. We'll take the 3rd place and we'll move on to, I think next week is Old Atlanta. That'll be a lot of fun, and I'm good there, so looking forward to that.
Yeah, you talk about that 3 wide incident. Talk us through your perspective as Rick English flipped over your car, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh no, we were 3 wide like the entire time down the back. We were, me and Rick were racing really hard earlier in the race. I blocked him down to the pit wall at least once right after the first pit stop, and we were racing pretty hard there, and we ended up 3 wide there after he had blocked me, and I was outside. We ended up 3 wide, and he just came up off of 4, didn't really know we were 3, or just couldn't hold it down there, and turned across my nose and ended up flipping right over us and got no damage from that. But unfortunate incident, but I guess whenever you're racing hard for a podium spot or win at the end of the races, that's just what happens sometimes.
Yeah, and then you also bring up Old Atlanta. I hate to be the one to bring up back, but I'll never forget what happened at the last lap, last corner, last time we were at this track in the Gen 4s. You think you can prevent that from happening this time? You know, Cody Gibson might not get the best of you this time, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, that was definitely a choke, but that's one of those mistakes you can look at and definitively say, okay, this is what I did wrong. This is what I can do differently. And that's how you get better as a racing driver, is you don't look at an incident and be like, oh, there's nothing I could have done there. Oh, and then just move on from it. You look at, okay, maybe the incident wasn't my fault, which in this case it definitely was, but you look at the incident and you say, what could I have done different? You know, and move on from that. And I don't know. I think it'll be a lot of fun next week. I love that racetrack. It'll be a lot of fun. Hopefully we can not get some weird cautions or not get some fuel strategy, and we can hopefully go out there and win one finally. And into Zane's won 3 straight, and congratulations to him. That's a pretty strong feat. But yeah, gonna take that 2nd place in points, and we're gonna move on and hopefully get a good rest of the season going.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to come and talk with us.
Yeah, thank you.
Of course, and that was our 3rd place finisher, Mike. Nolan, with Escamilla not being in the server, I'll give it to you to toss us out.
Overall, quite a wild way to see racing action draw to a close. But, of course, there's still plenty of more action yet to come here on Greenfly TV before racing action resumes once again for the SRA Superspeedway Blitz coming up next week. Of course, tomorrow afternoon, it's going to be a big, big day. 24 cars are already qualified into the 8th annual Paper Cycling Systems Indianapolis 500, and we'll see who the back 9 are going to be when we go racing once again. It is bump day qualifying tomorrow afternoon alongside the Precision Automobile Club Esports at Olsen Park Circuit for their first race of the season. Blaze Metals Arcteers action is out at Homestead Miami Speedway on Sunday night for their final race of the season. They are joined by the PSR Outlap Motorsports Truck Series at Auto Club Speedway on Wednesday. And between them, the High Tide Racing League Premier Series out at Charlotte Motor Speedway on Monday. Mars takes the finish of the Beer League back for more on Wednesday. If you want to find out more about who we are, what we can offer you, check us out today at www.greenflytv.com. As it'll ramble alongside Luke's Moody. Thank you all so much for joining us, and we'll see you all when we go racing once again over